What's up everybody, Brody here with Sew Yeah Quilting, and we are back with another Vegas strip tutorial. For anybody that doesn't know, this is what a Vegas strip is here. It's 6.5 inch wide by width of fabric strip packs. There's 21 strips per pack, and we do them here at Sew Yeah Quilting. Without further ado, let's get started. So we're gonna start out by taking one of our strips and cutting 6.5 inch squares out of those strips, okay? As always, pattern is down below as well as the cutting instructions. So this is just so you can watch and see how to do it. So you're gonna cut out your 6.5 inch squares. And basically there's two blocks here that we're gonna focus on. So we have a 4-patch and we have a snowballed 6.5 inch square. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with our snowballed 6.5 inch square. What I wanna do is I wanna pick out the pieces that we're gonna just want to focus on out of my strip pack. So go through and pick the ones you like the best, get those ones ready, cut them out into your squares here. And then what we're gonna do is we are going to, I have some pre-cut little snowball squares here. We're gonna sew a snowball square in each one of the corners. So this is a very, very quick and simple tutorial. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna take it right over to the sewing machine, and I'm gonna sew a little snowballed corner on here. Pretty straightforward, okay? Then I'm going to do each one of the corners that way. Just like that, our first block is ready to cut and trim. So we're gonna lay this down and we're gonna go right into the 4-patch block, and then we're gonna trim everything up at the same time. So let's do that now. All right, so all of your 4 patches are going to be the same. You're going to take a colored fabric and a background fabric and put them top and side here, and then the same thing, just opposites, okay? This is an easy one that you can just chain piece, so you could have these ready and just chain piece them through the sewing machine. I'm gonna just sew a 1/4 inch seam down to one side. And take this chain piece, okay? If you're not chain piecing currently, think about it, okay? It can be super quick and easy. So I'm just gonna lift this up. I'm gonna add in my next piece here. I have my needles down, and I'm going to keep sewing. Just like that, you're chain piecing. And then right here, if I was making more than the blocks that I'm making right now, I would just keep adding them in there. But I have 2 pieces that are here together. They're not sewn together, they just have that one little stitch. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open these up and press them. And once they are pressed, we are going to sew them together into our 4-patch, okay? I'm gonna put these right sides together, and we are gonna sew a 1/4 inch seam. And then our 4-patch is gonna be done, just like that. I'm going to press this open, and then I'm gonna show you how to finish our other block here, okay? So 4-patch is ready, I just pressed it. And now I have this little guy here that I need to cut and press. So we've already sewed on our snowballs, and all you're gonna do is you're gonna trim off about a 1/4 inch away from the edge. Now you can use a ruler, you can also just cut them off, because it doesn't really matter if it's exactly a 1/4 inch there, since you're just pressing it afterwards. So taking these off, and then we're going to press this open. This right here pressed open is going to give us our snowballed corners here that we're looking at. So I'm gonna press this open and I'll show you what it looks like. So now both of our blocks for our quilts are finished. We're gonna repeat this process obviously enough times to get the desired size here. And again, all the instructions are down in the pattern below of how many you need to make this size quilt. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create one of our quilt blocks here. Now, it's fairly simple. You're gonna use 2 of your 4 patches and 2 of your snowballed squares here. And the only thing you want to make sure of, and I'll show you that here when we put the blocks together, is you want to make sure that as you are putting your block together, so this is our block, you want to make sure that you have a blue square in the top left corner on one side, and then you have your black on the other one. You want to make sure you do all of these blocks the same way. So make sure the orientation of these stays the same. That way when you put more blocks together, it gives you these 2 together here, these 2 together here, it gives you that extra little level of dimension in them. So I'm gonna lay these down, I'm gonna get a block put together here, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so just like I said, when I'm putting my other 4-patch here, I just need to make sure that I'm not doing it like this, how these are mirroring each other, okay? If I do it that way, it's not going to give us the exact look we want overall. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this direction. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sew one of these together to show you what the finished block looks like, and then from there, you're gonna be able to make this quilt behind me. Just like that. I'm gonna sew these together. Now that these are both ready, I'm going to put them right sides together. All right, first block done here. finished block looking, turn it so it matches this side, looking just like this, okay? Exactly how you want it. Now, you're gonna repeat this process and then put together the rest of these blocks. You have a couple of different options. One, you can do it exactly like this, okay? You could also put lines of sashing in here throughout the quilt to break it up a little bit, but however you want to do it, it's gonna look awesome, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget, down in the description below, you have the pattern as well as the link to get the Vegas strips, okay? Now, we only have a couple on there right now, but more and more are coming as we continue to create them. And don't forget, you can only get them here at Sew Yeah Quilting. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.